Welcome to Insomniac Live! And you'll notice we're not in front of a green screen or in North Carolina, because it's back to Burbank. And yesterday was the first North Carolina stream. Today, it's normal, Wednesday afternoon here. It's actually sunny, it's beautiful, it's warm in Burbank, California. I'm hot in my sweatshirt, but it says Insomniac Games on it, so you know, it's cool. My name is James Stevenson, Community Director here at Insomniac Games, joined today on the couch by Tiffany Chu, an environment artist who is currently working on Spider-Man for PlayStation 4. And you know him, you love him, you like making fun of him. It's Corey, who is not behind the desk today. Justin's on the chat. Corey's in front of the camera. We are playing CD Projekt Red's Witcher 3, which is, I think if I asked people across the office what one of their favorite games have been in the last few years, I would guess Witcher 3 would probably be near the top if you tallied all the votes of games that got mentioned. I personally have never played Witcher 3 until this weekend when I started playing it, and so we're starting maybe an hour into the game or so after you've kind of gotten through the tutorial stuff. Corey's played a few hours of it last year. Tiffany's a big fan, though.
Yeah, definitely.
So why do you like Witcher 3?
Well, for one thing, I just like exploring the world and looking at all the art, and occasionally getting stuck on tree collisions. But yeah, it's a beautiful game, and like wherever you turn, it's always something pretty to look at.
I will say this is like a game I was ashamed not to have played. Like it always felt so intimidating. Everyone's like, there's like 100 hours of content. Like I'm gonna be playing it, and I just was always super. Honestly, I was very intimidated by this game, if that makes sense. And so it sat on a digital pile of shame, installed on my Xbox One. For what? It's been out 2 years? A little over 2 years?
Yeah, it's been out for a while.
So I've had it installed probably since that holiday. And actually the thing that is compelling me, besides the thing I need to go play this game, is the fact that it got an Xbox One X patch, and it looks amazing on the Xbox One X. And so I was kind of like, fine, I'll go play it. So CD Projekt Red, if you hear that. I mean, I already had got the game, so it didn't really matter. You had a sale anyway, I guess. But that made me want to play it, the patch.
150 hours to finish the base game. Ooh.
Yeah.
150 hours to finish the base game, another 50 for DLC. How many hours have you played this game?
200 hours.
You played 200 hours?
200 hours, yeah. And I just finally finished the DLC like over break. So, yeah, it's been a while.
Okay. So what is a Witcher?
He is a monster hunter. So this is actually a series that was translated from a Polish novel.
Right, they bought the rights like super cheap, right? Or they bought permanent rights to the. I feel like they got the rights.
It was a while back, yeah, a long time ago. I started playing it through Witcher 2, I think, and yeah, that was a lot of fun.
No, it feels like a lot of people. I don't know, chat. How many of you guys have played Witcher? I'm curious how many people in the chat. 60 FPS or bust said it took them over 50 hours. It said the same thing about 200 hours. But yeah, I kind of like I don't remember really hearing about Witcher 1 very often. Like Witcher 2 was the one that started getting popular, and then Witcher 3 blew up. And I just never got around to actually playing it. But it does seem like it has its own pretty cool fantasy world that I'd like to get more into.
Yeah, one of my favorite quests in Witcher 2 is Geralt goes out and he gets pretty drunk, and then he ends up with a really nifty neck tattoo, which ends up being something that you can pour into Witcher 3. So I didn't know that, and I just selected yes, and yeah, so I spent the rest of the game with a really interesting neck tattoo.
Oh, I remember when you start this game, it asks you if you
does.
want to transfer in your data.
Yeah, or simulate data if you didn't play the first game.
Yeah.
Like I didn't. And I was like quickly like I googled, I'm like on Reddit, like what does this mean? And everyone's like, you have to do it because basically it gives you like one extra set of dialogue or something.
But yeah, when I play Geralt, I kind of want to play him as the mean badass character if I can.
Right.
I'll always select the right, dialogues, but it's really fun.
Do you normally like selecting kind of that mean badass dialogue?
Sure, yeah, why not?
So like
right?
Mass
It's
Effect, you're like the kind of the powerful like asshole shepherd.
Yeah, I mean that's the fun thing about playing games, right? Is you get to be someone who's not your daily self.
I always feel too guilty. Like
No.
I played Knights of the Old Republic, and I played like an agent, which the agent had an awesome storyline. If you'd ever played that game, I don't know what it's like now because MMOs changed so much. But I played like an agent, so you're on the dark side. But then I basically played like an agent who has like morals and shit, and I just like I feel like it may be more fun just to be like a dark Jedi, like electrocuting the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Oh,
You don't have to
definitely.
think too much about your moral dilemma.
It's escapism.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like moral grayism. In the middle.
So much work.
I know it is so much work. It's so
Well,
much more fun just to kill
honestly,
her.
I like to pick the hard dialogue options because I want to see what the writing team came up with for the, you know.
That too, yeah. I like to kind of dig myself into a hole and see.
Yeah, I want to see push the limits a little bit.
So he's got 2 swords because one of them's for
monsters
people
and
and
one's for
people.
humans. There's a silver sword for monsters
That's
and a
true.
steel sword
That's
for
true.
people.
But he does say that both are for monsters.
Because people.
Okay, so this guy was helping tell us about the griffin.
So what does he say? Gotta get a specific herb. Could get some more information about the griffin. Let's just get a herb. Got the herbs.
Nick Bates says he's 40 hours in but hasn't finished yet. Sounds like you have a ways to go then. Remaster Resistance just started it recently. Real quick, I want to say thanks to Nickub Freitas and Mr. Makes You... Oh, never mind. I read the rest of it. Makes You Do Happy Things. The Gamiro, Revzo1, Dova Kinatsu, and El Nuvo. Thank you. And Wolfpath 4. Thank you all for the follows. I can't read whoever said you need to play the first 2 Witchers because it's in yellow on white on the screen and I just can't read it at all. But I don't think
I don't think
No, you
so.
don't need to,
No.
yeah.
When I started it, it
Yeah.
was all, the intro is really good. It tells you the story. The cinematics in this game are amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the second Witcher game is a very like self-contained kind of story. So, if you want to play it just to learn more about like the political background and all that, so long.
It doesn't seem like it seems like there made some old story threads, but nothing that's like it's not like a continuation of a previous story. It's a whole
you're not
new
missing
thing.
anything. We're still in the tutorial, okay? Let's get out of here. Where's the door?
Oh, Nick Bates says, okay, have fun. He has to go to bed now because he has to be up in 6 to 7 hours.
Nighty
Yeah,
nights.
He lives in Germany, so he's on that German time zone thing.
Have a pretzel tomorrow for me.
Ask the hunter where he found the bodies. Ask the herbalist about the buckthorn. Oh man, this is like very nostalgic. I started playing it maybe like over Christmas break a year ago. Had to take a couple breaks, but...
Yeah, I mean, rarely do I eclipse the 100-hour mark in games these days because it's really hard to. Oh, I see. So that's fast travel.
Cool.
Signpost.
Alright,
Cool.
signposts. Got it. So,
But Zelda I
fast
did this
travel.
year. Zelda I put like 100-something hours into.
That's another good one. Cool. So we don't have any signposts nearby, so I guess we gotta go to the bridge. Here we go.
All right.
Cool.
Let's see. What else? Spire. What is this game about? I've never played a Witcher game, says Heat Miser. So you play a monster hunter, and you go around the world doing quests, and I assume there's a big storyline too that eventually kicks off.
Yeah, and you have your friendly horse Roach, who occasionally spawns on top of houses.
Oh, that's fun.
As is his will.
You know, just horses, man. They love getting up on top of houses, and they have to call the fire department to get them down, and it's just kind of this like... I like the ducks walking in the street. That was one of my favorite things.
Very
just like
cool.
Ducks and...
Yeah, the
it
ambience
feels,
and everything in this game.
And
There's
like
a lot
little
of
kid, like...
little detail.
What was a little kid doing, like, playing, like, balancing in the middle of the street, and I'm just about to run it over with a horse, like,
Yeah, sometimes I leave the game running by accident, and... Okay. Is he just a quest giver? He's just a quest giver. Let's move on. This is the problem. There's so many dudes that are just... No.
Yeah, just follow the yellow thing on the radar.
Let's go.
Yeah, up to the... I think he's out, the hunter's out, not in the town, I don't think.
So, with your horse in this game, is he more or less invincible, or he'll keep respawning? It's not like Red Dead.
Yeah, he's
right?
good.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes he gets attacked. And
Roach
Yeah.
can't die.
He can't
Oh, there's
die.
the hunter. It's nice when you see the hunter has a skin that's out being, like, tan.
That's a good skin.
That is a big squirrel.
Cool.
I don't think that was a squirrel, man.
It could have been.
Could be like a monster squirrel, right? Like a, you know how like a bugbear, they have stuff like that.
It's like a wolverine or something.
Well, wolverines
Alright,
aren't that
so
big either.
Okay.
Witcher senses.
Yeah.
Are we going to track him?
Oh yeah, I remember you go into the detective
so
mode.
His medallion's supposed to vibrate.
They have a Japanese
What?
Oh.
detective show called The Sniffer that I saw at my grandma's house because she is Japanese and she has a Japanese station. And It's like this,
Oh, there's the tracks.
where he goes
Okay.
into this mode and he sees the clues, only instead of seeing them, he smells them. It's terrible.
Yeah. That's like my dog. My dog can smell her weight.
Yeah, but he's like a human, so, you know, it's so funny when he goes into this mode like this and everything around him gets all kind of like in Lord of the Rings when you put the ring on.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Goes
that
into
is
the-
actually.
But
pretty
then
good.
instead of seeing like weird stuff, he just closes his eyes and
Hey,
smells,
there
and
he
then he
is.
solves the mystery.
So we found the hunter.
Found the hunter.
Everyone's very tattooed.
Yeah.
Wolves. No. Wild dogs. Yes. More dangerous than wolves. I'm hunting bigger game. Enough guardians that
Griffin.
we can kill.
Okay.
Need to find them.
Someone mentioned, are you excited that God of War has a release date? It's April 20th.
Saw the story
Soon.
trailer. Yeah.
New trailer.
Looking good.
Yeah, the game's gonna be awesome.
Very excited
It's
for
actually
that.
crazy they announced the release date and there's like only, less than 90 days until it's out.
Mhm.
Oh, that's coming out very soon.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're all very excited to play God of War. I'm very excited to check it out. I think it's kind of, wow.
Blades don't worry me. Time does. I'm in a hurry.
But yeah.
It's God of War Junior.
Can't fall before
It's
I-
the kid.
Come on.
Whoa, he has a son.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he has a son. I'm
He's
excited
the-
though.
He's the dad of war.
Dad of War.
Yeah, that's right.
Not much.
All, every video game is about being a dad now.
Yeah, seems to be the trend, right?
Yeah.
Make you
Mm.
care.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to play it. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
And April's a good time. There's not a lot. Should be not a lot of other stuff out right around then.
It's the beginning of movie blockbuster season, but for games,
It's just
yeah.
a couple weeks before Infinity War, which is also very exciting.
When's Black Panther? Soon, right?
February 16th.
Okay, that's real soon.
So that's like
yeah.
a few weeks away. Yeah. I actually gotta make plans to go see that, like get tickets and stuff.
Yeah, that's another good one.
Kronzy pimping the Discord server. If you ever want to chat with all of us, you can go to Discord.
Someone named the real James Stevenson.
What?
Guardians.
People don't sign up for Twitch accounts to make fun of me. Look, I'm right here. I'm not typing anything. It's obviously fake. Fake news.
Well, unless this is pre-recorded, because we're just talking randomly and we're not going to be able to respond to the chat because we recorded this a long time ago,
Yeah,
and
so I
we're
can
just playing
only-
along, like answering fake questions and
I
stuff.
can
It's all
only
charade.
respond. You know he's not the real me because he doesn't have a little sword by his name. People are asking if next up is the Spider-Man release date. LOL.
Ha ha ha.
Actually, that was really funny. Everyone when they announced the release date, the amount of Twitter comments we got were like, "Okay, where's your date now?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, they did wait till under 90 days out to announce it, so
We could release a date for the release date of the release date of the release date.
I'm very confused." So
Like-
so if the release date's the last one,
Like we'd say,
you
like,
announce
on-
a
on
release date
February
for the release
10th.
date, and you announce a release date for the release date. I think you said it 4 times.
Yeah,
right?
so on February 10th,
We would
we're
announce-
going to release the date
that will
that we're-
announce the release date. That we will announce the actual release date.
one more level.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Dive deep like DiCaprio, man. It's like 4 layers of dreams here.
Oh,
Spinning that little thingy.
yeah.
I'm just worried that this Griffin is going to be evil.
He's alright, I think.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You guys missed, if you haven't played the game, there's a sequence pretty early on where like this Griffin is like, it picks up and carries off a horse, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I
I
think.
felt bad for the
yeah.
horse.
It's also a part of their like collectible statue from way
Hmm.
back when they released it. Statue of a girl fighting it.
That's awesome.
Oh no, the tracks.
Yes, release dateception.
go.
Exactly.
Release date Inception. The real James Stevenson says, I have a question. Guys, I have a question. I don't know why. You're the real me, so shouldn't you just have answers?
Man, what if you had like a Freaky Friday body switch with this guy and he became the real James Stevenson and you became whoever he is on the chat?
Oh, wait, is the Griffin dead or is it sleeping?
I think this is the mate.
Oh.
Yeah. They were trying to find the story of why this griffin is out and attacking the villagers.
Hmm.
So let's examine the type of griffin.
Thick shaft. Dense barbs.
Ooh, a royal Griffin.
Royal.
Not to be confused with a full house Griffin.
Yes, not a peasant griffin. How old is he?
Meat tips worn.
Uh,
In the coat.
That's big.
Years old.
Corey, Lol Braha says February 10th. Did that mean something? No. It was a joke. We're making an Inception joke. What is February 10th? I think I have, well, no.
I don't
I
know.
think I have a really good dinner reservation on February 10th, actually. A restaurant I've been trying to go to for a long time. So that's exciting.
Explains why the male I ran into was so aggressive.
That's a Saturday. It is a Saturday.
It's down here.
Confidence it's Saturday.
And started prowling the
Ooh,
area.
got a skill point. All
Nice.
right.
Nice. So now we can level up.
Cool. So what should we spend it on, guys? So I normally like to tutorials.
Yep, sorry.
When I play Skyrim, I always do it on the one that lets me mess with people better.
Yeah.
Like NPCs, like either like lie to them better or like pickpocket from them better. Anything that's
So-
really evil.
Yeah. Oh, it's not unlocked yet. All right.
Rage management.
So there's one that
needs
increases
that?
the base health stats. Let's see. Could be helpful for now. Nope. Very exciting. This one, survival instinct.
Oh, just more health.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
That could
probably
be-
fine
yeah,
for
it
now.
could be helpful for the
Yeah.
griffin fight. So let's get that one. So
Yeah.
equip that.
All right.
All right. And then we got one. Oh, that's it. 1 point. All
Yeah,
right.
just 1 point.
Cool.
Haha, remaster resistance.
We saw that somebody messaged us. We didn't see the contents of the message though.
Yeah, he was trying to get his message to actually
Yeah.
show up.
Well, he can just say it in the chat. That's fine.
It's not as funny to him if it doesn't show up on the actual screen.
Oh.
This
now
map
you
is
gotta
frickin'
fast-
Gotta
huge,
go
too.
pretty fast. Oh,
Or
okay.
do
So
you
go to
go
Broken
to
Bridge.
Sawmill?
Yeah.
Or do you have to go to the? Do you have to go to a signpost to travel?
Yeah.
Oh,
do.
okay,
You have
so
to
you can't just
physically, get.
Be at a
You
signpost
do,
and then you can
unless
fast
if you're
travel.
on the water, and then you can fast travel with a boat.
Got it.
Yes.
Favorite weapon that's not from a Ratchet game. I would go with the slappers only from GoldenEye.
Nice.
Get everyone in the elevator, and
And
no
then
odd
slap
job
the
allowed.
seat.
Just slap it out.
Was it? God, what was the name of the game? I don't think it was Mercenaries. There's a land shark gun in it. I think it was Armed and Dangerous, and you actually like shot a shark and it would swim through the ground and then come out of the ground and eat.
I like
people.
Street Sharks.
Yeah, kind of. Basically, I don't know why that just came to mind, but it was always one that it's a memorable one. I think it's Armed and Dangerous is the name of that game.
Yeah, I can't remember what the game was, but at some point there was a weapon that was a meat club. It was just like a giant turkey leg that you could bash your opponents with.
That's what I do when I go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Just
of
like
course.
grab the turkey
That's how
club
you
and-
get through the express line.
That's how you beat little children. You're like, no, stop crying. We have to wait in this line. But you want to go on Midway Mania?
Probably saying
Yeah, I
Yeah.
beat children at Disneyland. It's a good thing I don't have any kids. Some Bogoblin? Some Bogoblin? I don't know how you say that. Bogoblin?
Some goblin.
Bogoblin? With a K? Thanks for the follow. Appreciate that very much. Someone said Nashers, the Nasher from Gears. Okay.
I'm hunting the griffin. Need the buckthorn for bait.
I really like all the Easter eggs that they put in this game. So like I know earlier you mentioned like the geese that was running around the villages,
Mhm.
but there's also like cows, and I think if you end up accidentally like killing them too often, this monster will like rampage out of the woods and jump into the village and destroy you.
Oh, if you kill all the cows?
Yeah, if you kill them like repeatedly over and over.
So it's kind of like Zelda, where if you
Interesting.
keep hacking the chickens, eventually the chickens attack you.
Yeah.
So there's like a god, like a cow god that comes
Yeah,
down.
yeah, it's like
and-
a fiend, like this big monster.
Real James Stevenson's supposed to be in bed because they have school tomorrow, but they're watching the stream instead. Are you also in Europe?
Too much for someone
Must be.
Probably.
hide in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, Ratchet Extreme wants the favorite weapon that's not from a Ratchet game, but from a game made by you guys.
Interesting conversation.
You have to specify Ratchet Extreme 6. You can't just say not from a Ratchet game, because that opens up the entire world of video games. I love the
Whoa.
teddy bear launcher.
Oh yeah, the TN Teddy. Man, I love the skybox in this game.
Yeah, I know,
It's
right?
always gorgeous.
It's a little hard to see at night, but
Yeah, especially when it's on a TV and we have lights in our face. But
it's all good. Once you
um,
get the potion.
yeah, I think Can Teddy be good? Resistance, I mean, I always love the Bullseye. The Augur is fun too. Was the Tapper actually in a Resistance game, or do we have to cut that? I feel like we put it in a game.
And the horse can't swim across the water?
That would be great, but unfortunately no. It's just Geralt. Alright, so
so you actually have to dive for this.
So I gotta get a couple of these dudes. Oh, dive, dive, dive.
Oh wow, hard to see.
Yeah, but with my Witcher senses, everything is possible. Get it. Alright.
I'm surprised by the amount of people who watch this stream from the UK. You know, I'm not, because doesn't Ratchet sell really well in Europe and like the UK specifically?
Yeah, in general. It's also just, I think it's just the timing too, because it's evening time there. So we stream during the workday here. I think if we streamed at like 6 p.m. or something, we might get more of a U.S. audience. But we have kind of a balanced U.S. European audience, which is very much like our games. We sell, generally speaking, like Ratchet or something probably sells about the same amount of copies in Europe and European territories, which technically Europe, I mean Europe by Sony Europe, or Sony, which oversees all of Europe, the Middle East, Australia, New Zealand, all factor into European sales. They sell about equal, though, across those territories as North America does, generally speaking.
Have you guys heard of Titan AE? Yes.
Yes.
The animated film by Don Bluth with Matt Damon.
Matt Damon!
And the dude that played the president in Independence Day.
Oh yeah.
He's kind of like the Han Solo version of Titan AE.
Here we are. Oh.
That movie's actually really good.
I like how it gives you a prompt, Goose. Yeah.
Look at this goose.
I know. I like the look at the
What's
how it's
going on
pulling
over
its
here?
wings out.
Yeah,
like
he's just showing off. All right, buddy.
Well, they do that when they're like running away, like they're like ready at a moment's notice to start flapping.
Yeah, they used to scare me when I was
Bill
a kid.
Pullman,
They
yeah,
hiss
that's
at
right.
you. Oh wow, the stores.
Are you guys GTA fans? Who's not a GTA fan?
Vesemir.
If you're not a GTA fan, you can GTFO.
Wait, was he by the door?
Corey, I appreciate that you did that spontaneously. I was right
Oh, there
outside.
you
Yeah, that
I thought you were drinking Vesemir.
it's 10:22 in the UK. That's right. We're perfect for Insomniacs in the UK.
So I like this guy a lot, and then he just kind of, he's only with you in the beginning, and then he's like, all right, well, now that you know how to play the game, I'm gonna go away now. And it sucks because it's really fun to like,
To have a banter
yeah.
with him.
Although I got a bad feeling that if I stayed with him long enough, like because he's older,
Uh-huh.
something would kill him.
Oh, is
And,
All the
that
cholesterol he's had is
And I don't want to watch him die because
all the
he's,
potions
too
that
much
they're
monster, too many monsters.
so it's kind of better that he
That's
just
the
goes
best
away
part.
rather than dies. But
I
I
told
mean,
you to take the Lipitor potion.
Yeah.
God damn it, you old man.
doing. Well, he's with us in spirit.
This week on Bad Jokes with Corey. Remaster, I love you, man.
RDR is better than all GTAs. Well, you know, it's the same company making them, same family of games. It's basically just a reskin,
I don't
right?
know. I think Red Dead. I think I might still take Vice City, and I might even take GTA 5 over Red Dead.
Well, the other thing is that GTA has humor to it, whereas Red Dead is mostly serious. And I think that, you know, the humor is, the writing is really, really funny in GTA.
Yeah. What's the name of the guy, the crazy dude in GTA 5? The guy who just blows everything up. I can't. He's like the hill. He's like the guy in the trailer who blows everything up.
Chat would know.
Can't think of his name.
Yeah, what is that chat?
Anyway, that guy I love. Like every time you like cut to
Trevor.
him, Trevor. Every time you cut to Trevor and like he's doing something insane. Oh man, like love it. Absolutely love it.
Ooh, so we gotta brew our first potion.
Ah, I see. So this is a whole
It's time
potion.
to brew. Okay. Alright, to create an item. Yep, got it. Cool.
Oh, I see. So
So we gotta go down to the potions.
Oh man.
And,
Well, you guys
so-
put the Song of the Deep soundtrack on PSN Store.
Crap, this guy.
Is the Song of the Deep soundtrack like available at all anywhere, or was it? Did we ever make that something?
I feel like it was on Steam, and there was some code you could download it. I'm not remembering this. I don't even know if it's on Spotify. We should talk to him.
It's on Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll go on PSN just because I don't know what the deal is there. I think if it could have, it would have. I don't know.
It is a good soundtrack, though.
It is a good soundtrack. It's a terrific soundtrack. It's a super underrated soundtrack.
Jonathan Wandag
Yeah, that
made
guy's
it.
great.
That guy's
Yeah.
cool.
It's super. It's very good. It reminds me a lot of 16-bit games, and it's just great. Sheep from Poland said, "Sorry, this game is not the same without Polish curse words." I would totally imagine that's true. Sheep from Poland. Now, I'm curious. I went to Poland a number of years ago, and for Ratchet and Clank, and it was fun. I was told that everyone in Poland, that one of the main drinks in Poland is apple juice and vodka. I didn't entirely believe it. I still drank it, but I didn't entirely believe it. I wasn't sure if I was getting put on. So, Sheep from Poland, can you tell me, is apple juice and vodka actually a Polish thing?
How about kielbasa?
I don't know if I really had kielbasa. I think I had some. I don't remember what I ate, actually. Like, it was good. And actually, the funny thing was they set up a whole tour of the city for us, and then at the end of the tour of the city, they took us to an Asian sushi restaurant. I was just I mean, I think it was because they wanted to have Asian food and do it and then expense it, and that's fine.
Did they teach you any Polish curse words at least?
No, I didn't learn any Polish curse words.
Shame.
Will a soundtrack in Spider-Man be good? I'm going to answer that question with a question. Who doesn't like the Baja Men?
What? But that was an unrelated question, right?
Is it?
Good question. I don't know. Go watch the E3 demo from the E3 stage demo. That's in-game music.
How many animations have you guys put into Spider-Man? 3 or 4, I think.
Yeah. We have the largest team of animators we've ever had, and they're all still working on the game. Just like everyone else here is still working on the game. What else?
That's right, I have Beast Blood. You heard it here first. You can tell the reporters at Kotaku and whatever.
Hibinsky says it was a Servios thing when he was there. Well, James Iliff, whatever James, don't trust what James Iliff drinks. That's all I have to say.
Alright.
Oh, is this going down? Is the Griffin here?
Here we go. Have you played this before, Corey?
I've gotten this far before,
Okay.
yeah. I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Won it in a card game while you were here? Oh, I played that card game.
Gambling. Well.
Oh, they're talking about Gwent, huh?
Yeah.
Gwent's not bad,
It's quite fun. Yeah.
considering that it's like a game within a game.
There's
you
a
know?
lot of bluffing within it that I think is kind of interesting. The real James Stevenson, which is not me actually, it's fake James Stevenson, followed. Diego23222, Vincius Beck, Alex
Alright, you got
Ghost,
this.
and Officer
Alright.
Grimes. Thank you all for the follows.
Alright, gotta get
Oh,
those
that's-
tutorial prompts. Thanks,
Oh,
guys.
because the
Yeah.
crossbow.
Cool. Alright. Cool. Thanks. Cool. Oh.
Oh yeah, this is where they teach you to use the crossbow, right?
Yeah.
There's one-handed
Oh,
that
nice,
thing.
nice. That's baller. Not only one-handed, but off-handed.
Yeah,
Like,
nice shot.
Alright, let's go for Igni.
Oh.
Alright.
so one of the things, if you haven't played the game, there's the weapon select is the spells essentially. Your sword is either a human sword or a monster-killing sword, but your spells are all related to, like, you have one that can propel things, you have one that can shoot flames, all of that.
Alright, so the Griffin's gonna run. It's a fail scenario, I guess.
Is it bad that I feel bad for the Griffin right now?
They do make it, you sympathize with it, especially when you
You
kill it,
do,
I think.
yeah.
It kind of is like in, like Avatar, when, like, you know, they slay the deer thing, and they're like, your spirit is now one with the land. We thank you for your sacrifice. Whatever. You were a brave and noble creature.
Well, I mean, like, we saw that, like, its mate died, so it's like, oh, and it's like it had to leave its home, so it's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is pretty sad for the Griffin.
Well,
like,
that's the good thing about The Witcher is, like, it's always a moral gray area with the monsters.
Yeah. That's because his hair is gray and that his
Oh,
brain
yeah,
is inside
and he's also
that
the
area.
gray wolf, right?
Yeah.
I'm also sorry we started the game after everybody was naked at the beginning.
That's fine. The
Yeah, we
classic-
skipped all the naked
The
cinematics.
classic bathtub scene.
Everybody in the bathtub.
Yeah. Alright.
Would we say that Titan AE and Ratchet have some similarities? Yeah, sure. I mean, because, you know, Titan AE is very heavily influenced by Star Wars, and so is Ratchet. And, you know, it's the classic hero's journey story with sci-fi setting, so there's going to be a lot of overlap.
Let's see. What else can we talk about the people? What makes Witcher 3 distinct from other RPGs? Asks Fluffy Duck 73. Now I haven't played enough, so I couldn't say. But what I will say, I've heard everyone say, is that all the quests seem like they're very, very well made. Like people, story-wise, like.
Well, here I'll yeah. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Watch the cinematics. Look at the composition of the camera and the way the blocking of the characters and the way it flows. It's just at a higher level than any other RPG. It's like a movie almost.
Live and learn.
And the timing of the dialogue and everything is just so well made.
Well,
Yeah.
and supposedly like every side quest has a pretty good twist to it.
They do. They all have really interesting little short story kind of feel to it. Even in The Witcher 2, the opening cinematic is the amount of times I've played, and I just always watch it, like when you're on the ship and everything is like frozen. It's pretty amazing. Cool. So we have the
Mutagens.
I like how they actually gave you a little cinematic for him like harvesting the body parts. It wasn't like, oh, you just tap the button and it all goes in. It's like, oh, he has to pull his knife out and actually like cut body parts out of it.
Yeah, it's the same animation each time when you get your first beast type, but alright.
It still just reminds you that it's
Still
not.
pretty cool. It's fast travel to where we need to go. Where is the signpost? There.
Sheep from Holland said vodka with or without anything is a Polish thing, but he does prefer pure. Yeah, that makes sense. Any thoughts on the God of War trailer besides it was awesome? Because that's what I'm gonna say. Like,
It was awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
it's gonna be good. I mean, and then Shadow of the Colossus comes out in 2 weeks too. The remaster of that or remake. I don't know,
Remaster?
Is it remake or remaster?
Just
I think I want to say remaster.
Yeah, it's just a remaster.
Okay. So that's exciting too. So you got that in February. You got God of War in April.
Yeah.
Exciting times on PlayStation 4.
More games to catch up to.
That's the problem. Anytime I start to try and catch up on something, new stuff comes out, and then I get more buried.
Well, I'm going through the Lost Legacy right now. I need a break from open world before I jump into maybe like Assassin's Creed Origin. So I'm not ready for another 100-hour commitment.
Yeah, it's an investment for sure.
See, you just remind me that I'm 20 hours into Assassin's Creed Origin,
Yep,
and I left on vacation, and so I haven't played it in months. And now I'm trying to start Witcher 3 this past weekend. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I need to play Assassin's Creed. I need to play all these other games. Oh my god, I'm freaking out. Freaking out right now. The pressure is real.
So look at the guy that this dude's talking to. He has a little gold necklace thing. I'll come back to him. Yeah. So that has its own physics and stuff.
Yeah,
it's not just
even his did.
Because see, it is amazing because he reached over across himself and his arm accidentally moved under it and picked it up, and it didn't just crop through it. It has its own. It's amazing.
Yeah, all the little details in the costumes. I think my favorite area is Skellige. We'll get to there later in the game, but it's kind of interesting because so now you get to choose.
Oh, sometimes you don't have.
I don't know.
Time.
So you're a moral player, right?
Uh-huh.
Would you take the coin? Do you think?
Yeah.
I always take the money, right?
Of course.
All right.
From a guy who dressed like that, I take the money.
Yeah.
If it's a poor person who's giving you their life savings because you I might turn it down.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But if they're obviously the rich
I'm getting
runner,
ripped.
yeah, he can pay.
Yeah,
he can
so-
afford it.
Oh, that's with the moral dilemma. That
The
guy
moral
that had
dilemma,
the.
yeah. So these guys are kind of like the Roman conquerors. So they're mean, but they're about law and order. So I think that farmer messed up his.
Well, he brought in some
his
grain that had
grain,
maggots in
yeah.
it, and then now he gets the
Too bad
lash.
for him.
Samson3121 said, "Do you think Horizon set the bar for action RPG games going forward?" I don't know. Do you guys both play Horizon Zero Dawn?
A little bit in the beginning.
No, I didn't play it.
So I need to. Speaking of open world games, I need to finish. I still haven't
Yes.
finished the DLC. As a person who did play it, I wouldn't say it necessarily set a bar. I think the bar is pretty high between stuff like Fallout and Zelda and everything else. But it certainly is at that standard of. And what I do think was interesting is it's a really unique world. What makes it great is it hits its theme so well. The dinosaurs are awesome. The dinosaur combat's really good. Everything fits into it, and like and
Shoving
all the
pedestrians out of the way.
yeah, all the
Yeah,
missions
let's
fit
go.
in.
Ooh, sorry.
That's I think the cohesiveness of it is really really great.
Oh boy. Why do I get the feeling?
Oh, I
gonna be
remember
a
this
bar
scene.
fight?
Yeah, you're gonna get in
Yeah.
a bar fight.
Alright.
Yeah,
Vesemir, how's the drink?
got friends in low places here.
Yennefer's emphysema. Got a few
Is Secret of Mana good? Remaster drops in
Oh.
February. The original Secret of Mana is sensational. You should actually just play it on a SNES Classic rather than worrying about a remaster, I think. But we'll see how the remaster is.
We're on our way.
I thought when I played it,
Mm-hmm.
well, maybe there's alternate ways it works, but I thought that was his name Vesemir?
Yeah.
That he got cut up pretty bad by the griffin and he was injured. He was
Oh,
still
okay.
okay,
Yeah.
but like his arm, I thought, but he seems fine.
I don't remember that, but
So maybe you just were terrible at killing the griffin? Is that
But it
what
was its
happened?
own. It was like part of the story and all these cinematics going forward, and it's
Right,
like
'cause
so
you
they
know-
have two different
could be.
sets of animations they made for that.
Chat, do you guys know? Do you know if he can get beat up?
If Vesemir gets beat
Or
up.
is Corey just like doing too many drugs and doesn't remember?
Well, maybe it's gonna like be about to happen, and I just did a spoiler.
Well, I think they're gonna have a argument here with the
Yeah.
patrons.
I know grief eats at your heart.
You know shit.
Uh-oh.
They had my sister, dragged her out the cloister like
Yeah, so my first playthrough, I accidentally forgot the Radovid storyline.
Uh-huh.
So there's a bunch of these witch hunters, and they kind of persecute the elves and like the magical creatures of the land.
Oh no.
And so I got the bad ending where the witch hunters win, and so I had to
Oh.
go back and fix that.
What?
Yeah.
What is going
Oh
on?
boy.
let me be.
That's like in Full Throttle, at the beginning when he's like, "You know what might look better on your face?"
Oh,
Bam.
That's a
the
Joker
bar.
move.
Oh yeah, Joker did it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What did
Messed
she
up.
do? What did she do to that?
Oh, Amazing Spider-Man clarified about Bella Vesemir. Yeah. So you guys are movie buffs. How do you feel about Avengers, Deadpool, and Star Wars coming out in the same month?
Craziness.
That's a lot.
They want our money.
That's kind of, I think it's, you know, you got to do what you got to do, but I prefer it spaced out so that you can kind of recover from each movie and then go into each one with like a fresh set of.
You know, wait. Well, okay, it's not just a bar fight. It's like a bar sword fight. And I imagine a bar fight. I imagine it's like fists.
Yeah, I thought it
and
was gonna be
smashing.
just fisticuffs.
Yeah, immediately you're like flames on everything.
Yeah.
Like all these guys are like,
You know,
yeah,
it's
we'll
a
fight
wooden
you.
house. Why not? You know,
Well, there was
go for
one
that.
I think that might have happened earlier where you walk outside the bar and there's a couple guys there.
Yeah.
But that's
Punch them.
earlier.
Yeah.
There
But
are
this
like,
one's hardcore.
There are mini games where you go into these fight clubs around town and you challenge people to fist
Mhm.
fights. You're not allowed to use your power.
It's all right. It's over.
It's over.
Leave me be. Get
Aw.
away.
Why'd she scared? All I did was cut that guy's head off.
Yeah, no big deal.
Lol Broha says, since you guys are movie buffs, how do you feel about Avengers, Deadpool, and Star Wars all coming out in the same month?
Wait.
In May this year, we have Avengers Infinity War,
That's right.
Deadpool 2,
Mhm.
and the Han Solo movie.
Yeah. So, gonna go see all three?
Pretty much have to see all three.
Yeah.
Avengers would be great. Got some Spidey in there.
Mhm.
Everyone knows. Exciting to see that.
I feel like Avengers is gonna steal the thunder from the other two.
I think Avengers would be interesting to see like all those characters on screen together.
It's a lot, yeah.
No. I'm scared about the Solo movie, personally. I still can't believe we don't have a trailer yet for the Solo movie.
I just want to see Chewie like actually rip people's arms off the way they talk about him doing it. 'Cause they've built that up for decades.
Ricky.
Physically rip them apart?
Yeah,
Okay.
like he loses a
Gotcha.
game of that little chess with the monsters.
See, when they announced the title for Solo, the only thing I could think of was those like red Solo cups
Oh.
that you play beer pong with. I can't unsee that now.
You never know. There may be a whole scene where like
Yeah,
Han
it
and
could be-
Lando
it
are
could be like a
gambling
perfect
over
product
beer pong.
placement, yeah.
Han and Lando gambling over beer pong.
Oh well.
Ricky Jedi says UK gets the Avengers in April. No one likes a braggart, Ricky Jedi. Okay, that is true. They do get it early. I was able to see Guardians a week early because I was in Europe last year. It is funny how it used to be the opposite, where like everywhere else got it after the U.S. and now the U.S. is like one of the places that gets movies last a lot of times. Deadpool be interesting. New director for Deadpool.
Yeah.
Tim Miller is making.
Bowed out,
Yeah, he's making Terminator.
Right.
So, Corey,
Yeah.
Terminator's in good hands with Tim Miller.
Well,
No, you disagree?
I saw this thing with Tim Miller and James Cameron, and they're talking about it, and they're like, "Oh, it's going to be so good. Like, we're going back to the roots of like 1 and 2, and we're disregarding the other ones, and it's a fresh start, and we're really getting back to like why it's good and making it a story worth telling." Da da da. And I'm like, "Oh, that sounds really refreshing. I'm all hyped now." And then I went back and I watched this video of James Cameron saying the exact same freaking thing about the last Terminator, and it's like he's full of it. Like, no, it's done. The magic's gone.
Don't worry about James Cameron.
Yeah.
Worry about Tim Miller.
Yeah.
Tim Miller's awesome. We've worked with Tim Miller a bunch. Like, it was actually funny because before that broke, like last year when the Deadpool thing had just happened, but he hadn't gotten Terminator yet. We were at the VGA Awards, I think, and Ted and I were sitting right behind Tim Miller, and so we talked quite a bit, and because the VGAs are long. Yeah, I have a lot of faith in Tim Miller. I'm curious how Deadpool does without Tim Miller. We'll see. And then,
Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good director. It's just that
yeah.
that story is done, and I think they're trying to force it. And Arnold's old now, so
He's still good.
he's still good, but
He'll be back.
Speaking of Harrison Ford's, what do you think of Indiana Jones 5?
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Oh my gosh. What about 4, man?
what about 2?
Yeah,
There's only 1 and 3.
that's true.
Well, hey, that means the odd ones are good, so 5 should be awesome.
Okay,
right?
that's
If
a
it
good
follows
point.
The old,
That's
if
a
it
good
follows
point.
the old Star Trek rule.
Well,
Yeah.
and Shia LaBeouf's not in it anymore, right? They just wrote him right out of there.
You know,
no
it's
more
funny.
of the swinging monkeys.
Yeah.
It's really funny that, like, in some universe, there was some point in time where Disney was legitimately, or not even Disney, but Lucas and Spielberg were legitimately viewing Shia LaBeouf as the heir successor to the Indiana Jones fedora.
God.
Like, it would have been like, if that movie had been successful, you could have seen them, like, eventually transitioning Harrison Ford out, and then it would be Shia LaBeouf doing all the Indiana Jones stuff.
Look at the camera work here. It's so cinematic. It's amazing.
So I'm really excited for the Netflix remake, although
Yeah.
I
And the
kind of
editing
wonder how
and
they
everything.
would, how they can compete with the cinematic.
This is just amazing cinematics.
Yeah.
And this isn't even a big deal. This is just like a one-off. The whole game does this for 200 hours.
Yeah, and there's so many cutscenes.
Anastasia is here. Good to see you.
The blocking and choreography of it all and the load-in.
Someone says, what about a round of Gwent? Well, maybe.
That's sweet. That's kind of
awesome.
like an homage
So-
from Fellowship of the Ring.
So
Yeah.
would you say Yennefer is the correct choice in the series between Yennefer and Triss?
Well, oh, jeez. I would.
Yeah.
At first, I was thinking Triss, but yeah, Yennefer is cooler.
Yeah. So-
Although it's like, I mean, I know they didn't have keyboards back in the Witcher days, but like they typoed her name on her birth certificate because
Oh, no.
actually you spell it with a J. That's the real name.
But in the Witcher world, it's better. with
That's
a
made
Y.
up though.
She's a sorceress.
Hey, it sounds Polish.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Sure. It's a
mystical.
little different.
The names are, yeah, I like the
Yeah.
kind of weird names
Yeah.
that let you realize you're in kind of a different world.
Call you Yames from now on.
Alright, fine. Call me Yames. I haven't read any of the Witcher books. Shoot from Poland. Have you guys read any Witcher books?
No.
Yeah. Read The Last Wish.
Mhm.
And it was before I played any of the games, so interesting enough, when I played it for the first time, it was exactly how I imagined it in the book. I felt like everything fit perfectly.
How many people does he need to bathe him?
More. He needs more people.
Justin, make sure to make a clip of this part.
Alright, kids, close your eyes.
Is he actually going to stand up here?
No, he's just gonna sit there for the rest of the game.
Well, alright.
So I think this is the makeover scene.
Oh, is this where you get to...
Oh boy.
Thinking your cares if I'm clean.
Well, you know.
You must have
We all get
eczema
very
or
quiet.
something.
Yeah.
Kronzi says, I love how this level of writing and cinematography carries to most of the side quests in the game.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's why this
what
game
everyone
is so
talks
good.
about it, yeah. Please shave the
half an
gentleman.
inch.
Ratchet Extreme 6 has been trying to get us to talk about how we feel about Ratchet and Clank action RPG. The thing is, Ratchet's already like kind of halfway there with like weapons that level up anyway and some of that stuff. So I don't know like how much more you push it into RPG-ness. His beard is infected
So
with lice.
rude.
Man,
Dang. Well, you try hunting monsters.
yeah, like who killed a griffin? Not you. Not you in this fancy palace. Ricky Jedi says favorite Christopher Nolan film.
Ooh, jeez.
So many good ones. I quite like The Prestige. Yeah.
I was not. I like the pick. I was
Yeah?
not expecting that as a pick someone to make, but I think it's a strong one.
It's
actually.
where Wolverine and Batman get to have a showdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And David Bowie's in it too.
That's right. Yeah.
Jeez, yeah. They're all really good, except for Dark Knight 3. Because
I
even
would probably say Inception,
Oh,
but
yeah?
I could see I could argue it in my head. I could argue Dark Knight. I could argue Inception. I could argue Interstellar.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Interstellar. The whole Murph scene.
Like I think
Yeah,
Interstellar is
Mer-
either like you love that movie like and you love it so much, or you kind of fall in sort of like it's good, or I didn't care for it. Like there's either like, but if you love that movie, you love it as like one of your favorite movies of all
Sure.
time. Like it's.
I loved 80% of it, and then that 70s show came on, and he's like, I'm starting a fire in your backyard. It's like, why? Just cast any normal person that's like not famous, like some nondescript guy for that role. Like, don't get that 70s show kid. Totally ripped me right out of it. But otherwise, it's so good. What's the one? Sorry, I can't remember it. The one about he can't remember stuff.
Oh, Memento?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
Memento.
That
one
one's
too.
awesome.
They're remaking it, which is bizarre.
Who's remaking it?
I don't know.
That's terrible.
The
Why?
company that owns the rights to it is remaking it because they're out of other ideas. Someone mentioned like how Hollywood. How do you feel about the trend of Hollywood just recycling ideas?
Oh, boy.
I think it's even weirder that TV's doing it now. Like Murphy Brown is coming back.
Fuller House.
Yeah, Fuller House.
Mhm.
Like the X-Files is back. Like
Twin
but
Peaks.
They're not all doing. Oh, they're not doing great. I feel like the recycled shows as much as the IPs are.
but they keep ordering new seasons
They
though.
do.
So
Yeah.
I don't
Who
know.
knows?
Although I will say, if you haven't watched Star Trek Discovery, it's awesome. Like I
heard
absolutely
good
love
things.
Star Trek Discovery.
Oh yeah, Dunkirk.
But-
Dunkirk's awesome too.
Dunkirk, yeah, another good one.
Dunkirk is
No.
awesome, but it's not. I would never call I don't think I could call it the best. Like there's too many other ones I like better.
Well, the other thing about Dunkirk, I feel like that's one of the few Chris Nolan movies that doesn't have this kind of mystery that you need to rewatch it over and over to get. You know, like it.
Right.
You kind of can just get it all in the first. It's really good, but
So
all
you
those other
kind of,
movies.
you know, the ending of the war.
Yeah, because like with even if you're not a huge fan of Interstellar, you can go back and rewatch it to kind of figure out clues of what's going on and stuff, and or like Inception, you know. So that's why I really like his movies. I don't like movies as much that kind of spell it all out for you.
Asdwin 248, Kirik R, Zero I, and John Bubniak. Thank you all for the follows. And someone says, "Oh no, without the beard, I get Witcher movie
They aren't
PTSD
even listening to the
flashbacks."
game at all. I'm listening.
Sorry.
They're giving a recap of Witcher 2, which I guess I'm the only one who played it here, but what happened to Letho? Yeah, what happened to Letho? So in Witcher 2, I spared Letho at the end. I felt bad for him.
Princess Bride is perfect. It doesn't need a remake.
Oh, please no. It's a
Princess
classic.
Bride is really good. Yeah.
The problem with, we were listening, the conversation got a little long, and we wanted to talk. We
Yeah.
saw questions going.
Talking about cool movies coming out.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that the John Bubniak is as real as the real James Stevenson is. That's my guess.
He's like, I'm surprised you guys know who I am.
Yeah, see, exactly. I wouldn't believe anything you read necessarily, unless, and yeah.
Who would win in PUBG?
Good luck.
Geralt, Aloy, Link, or Bayek?
Bayek.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on where they parachute in.
Yeah, are they dropped into like the Legend of Zelda world? Or are
Yeah,
they dropped
what's the
into the
map?
Witcher world?
Feels more like I'm being ready for a wedding.
Were that so, I would have prepared a gentleman a frog.
I mean, Geralt has all his potions behind him and his mutations, so there's that.
That's a good point.
Where's my clothes?
Who would you rather play Nathan Drake in an Uncharted movie? Nathan Fillion. Well, that was back when they made Uncharted 1 or 2, but he's too old now.
I know. Nathan Fillion in Firefly would have been perfect.
Yeah, Joe
but-
Flanagan, Brett Dalton. I don't even know who those guys are.
Alright, guys, we have to choose clothes.
Yeah, Kronzi, that name normally does have a K, which is why I'm very skeptical.
Alright. Looks like this is the winner.
Yeah, put on the fancy pants.
Yeah. Courtier's doublet. Alright, let's get dressed.
I like how they're making him dress up for this. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to shave you and clean you and dress you up.
And then you get to go
You just wear the shirt and the boots and the towel.
LSM Judoku says if they dropped into a regular PUBG map, Aloy would win due to skill with weapons. That's maybe true. I love the Master Sword though.
Sword on my back. That's what will satisfy me. I'm tough.
And then they're talking about Samson wants to know if we were surprised that that Horizon didn't win any awards at the Game Awards.
Oh.
And he's do you think having a female protagonist hurt it when people voted? I don't think that hurt it when people voted.
There's a lot of good games that year.
I
That's
think
the
it came out
problem.
against
Yeah.
like a generationally good Zelda game, and that's what hurt it. Like
Oh, Mario got snubbed too. It only won like ancillary awards.
yeah, I don't put it on Alloy by any means. I think
No,
people
she's
love
a-
that game. It got nominated for a
She was
ton
a
of
cool
awards.
character, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I guess I'd have to look. I think, and again, personally, so I don't know if you guys have voted, but the DICE Awards are next month,
Oh yeah, that's right.
a few weeks away. Everyone at Insomniac is part of the Academy, eligible to vote.
Okay.
You don't have to share your vote if you want, but I voted.
He's dabbing.
He's Witcher dabbing. Perfect.
Expect less of Northlings.
So now we get to go meet Tywin Lannister,
Nice.
who does the voice for Emperor Emir. Follow
Nice.
the Chamberlain. Oh, there he is.
What a perfect.
Let's go. This would be a good ending.
How many people are at our North Carolina office? Was it like 50?
A little less, I think, but in
49?
that ballpark, like 40 to 50, somewhere in there. Yeah, I mean, it lost to Zelda. It lost to Zelda in game direction and that. It lost narrative to Edith Finch. Seems reasonable.
Mhm.
It lost art direction to Cuphead. Again, reasonable.
That's tough. Because that's
yeah, they're
comparing
totally
apples and
different.
oranges.
They're totally different. Alloy lost to Hellblade. We were actually when I was in line. I was in front of Ashley Birch in line for the red carpet at the VGA.
You're saying you
so we
should
talked
change
a
back
little
into the towel
Oh, shame.
in front of the Majesty. You'd be like, I'm not that type of Majesty.
I know how to bow without a towel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. People are, someone said, Portal Player says, I hope Nintendo doesn't get all the wins. I don't really care who gets the wins. I just want people to vote for what they thought was best, and then whatever's best wins. And if it's all Nintendo, great. Congrats to Nintendo for making a great Zelda game. I think that's the other problem, though, is there can only be one winner. That doesn't mean that Horizon wasn't
Yeah,
awesome.
it doesn't mean it was a bad
Like,
game.
Horizon was rad.
Yeah.
You should play Horizon. In another year, against lesser competition, Horizon might have won a ton of awards, but it ran into a Zelda game buzzsaw, and that can happen to any great game that didn't necessarily get to win Game of the Year awards. 'Cause
Shawshank Redemption didn't win anything at the Academy Awards because it was a stacked year. So it just happens sometimes, and that's now I think that's like #1 on IMDb all time, or it's up there.
That's a crock too, but whatever. I'm trying to see if there's any other awards it should have won.
Tell me why you were looking for her.
I mean, action adventure it lost. I mean, I feel like it lost. Everywhere it lost, it seemed reasonable that it lost.
Enough of this battle. You would agree regardless.
Like I said, I think just being in the same category as Zelda across the board is brutal.
Yeah, just a tough year.
Samama22, thank you for the follow.
Save your generosity for those whose homes your armies have raised. I'll do it for Syria, not for your gold.
Your motives do
What is this game anyway? Oh, hi Anastasia.
Yeah, she's back. And Billy Parmenter says the new Zelda is pretty different. I think that's it too. Like, it's Zelda, but it's definitely like a revolution of Zelda. It's not, you know, it was a big jump for Zelda.
the sorceress.
Well, this game is you're the Witcher, which is a monster hunter, medieval setting, kind of like Game of Thrones. There's like monsters and mythical creatures and stuff.
I haven't been resetting. This is Insomniac Live. I'm James. This is Tiffany, who's an environment artist on Spider-Man. Everybody knows Corey from the chat and everything. We're playing Witcher from CD Projekt Red. We've just gotten through a long story sequence in which we've been talking about movies. Sorry if you were trying to pay attention to the story. If you were, why don't you go download this game and play it? 'Cause
Yeah, experience it for yourself.
It's apparently very, very good. Yeah, and we're streaming this game today. We'll be here for another 20 minutes or so streaming.
Oh man, they're saying Spider-Man's gonna lose the awards to Donkey Kong next year. I mean, we all know it, but we're not saying it. You didn't have to bring it up.
Yeah, that's just, man, mean. Look, dude, Donkey Kong has been like a thorn in our side. You know how many times we've lost to that ape?
Oh, you know what's really cool? Speaking of Donkey Kong, so Tony Mora, who made those cartoon cinematics, like tutorials of how to use your guns in the Ratchet and Clank games, he made a cartoon that was part of the documentary King of Kong. That's about the Donkey Kong tournament with Billy Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they had a part where they explain how Donkey Kong works or something, and it goes into a little cartoon segment. Tony Mora animated that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't realize he did that for
Yeah.
the movie. That's cool.
Yeah, that man is everywhere. Got his fingers in a lot of pies.
It's an interesting way to put it.
Finger in a lot of pies.
Alright.
That's when you do a lot of different things. That's the phrase.
Wear a lot of hats.
You wear a lot of hats too, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm
feel...
feeling more uncomfortable than a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
Do you have more bathtub scenes? Maybe
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
All right. So he's talking to Yen about Siri, their long-lost adopted daughter, who is also a princess.
I bet that's just
Scarlett
like
Johansson.
that's just concept art from the game that they
Yeah.
just made it into an asset.
It kind of. I don't know.
Kind of looks like her.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
kind of looks like Scarlett Johansson to me.
Does. Yeah.
Super Smash. Hi. How are you? Amp2494. Thank you for the follow. Portal player that just brought back Pies of American Pie. Yep. Whoops. He wears a lot of pies as hats. It's messy. From Josh Noble. I've never worn a pie as a hat.
I feel like David,
Wow, Beast Blood.
David Santiago would be the one to wear pies as hats over the holidays.
Oh man.
I knew the wild hunt might sense it.
I guess I asked for that one.
I don't know why I found that so funny. I think it's the little emoji at the end.
So are we gonna get like custom emojis for the Twitch channel?
Yeah, we're
it's
working
got-
on
it's
it. Yeah,
working on it.
it's well once we flip the switch into like partnership mode, then
Yeah.
yeah, we can. On our Discord channel, if you guys are not on our Discord, you should join it. We already got a full suite of emojis there with like little Ratchet face, little Clank face, Resistance face, all that stuff.
Justin, did you shut down the pie talk? All right. I like French silk pie myself. It's personally a favorite. Yeah, well, on vacation, I was on a ship, and there was a night where they had Thomas Keller French silk pie in this upstairs thing, but I wanted to eat in a different restaurant because they had beef Wellington, but I really wanted the French silk pie. And so not only did I have like a full meal with dessert, then I let me go up to the other restaurant to get French silk pie, where then the chef saw me. He's like, oh, you have to try all this other stuff, and brought me another plate of food. And I felt really awkward about not eating it since he brought it to me. And then I went home and went back to my room and collapsed in a heap.
And so did the boat shift a little when you walked?
That was just like the subtropical storm weather in the South Pacific.
Gotcha,
But yes,
yes,
I was definitely working out every day for that. Super Smash said, how confident am I that Spider-Man will release this year? I'm confident. It said 2018. Nothing's changed. It's 2018. And Troko said, how do you feel about the Anthem game delay? I don't believe there's been an official delay. You're probably referring to Jason Schreier's story on Kotaku about Anthem. If you haven't read it, you should check it out. Jason Schreier also has a great book that I read over the break called Blood, Sweat, and Tears, which is about how difficult video game making is.
Read it.
It's very good.
Yep.
Is that like Guns, Germs, and Steel or whatever?
Slightly different, but
Yeah, just a
close.
little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good book though.
That sounds like something about The Witcher, minus the guns.
Man, the cinematography, I'm still just...
The lighting's very
Yeah,
good.
it's so movie-like.
Yeah. So I think for the Netflix series, one of the directors is the guy who made the first cinematic, or the cinematic where he goes into the barn and hunts the vampire lady.
I like cinematics that take place in barns.
That's very specific, Corey.
Well, my dad used to build barns, and I'd help him build barns. And Ted the CEO, he was also in construction when he was in high school as like his first job. So, and Jesus was a carpenter also.
Bringing it back.
Yeah. It's the most important thing. Han Solo was a carpenter.
That's
He
true,
was?
He was.
Harrison Ford was.
That's
Oh
how he
yeah,
was
you're
found,
right.
Yeah.
Didn't he like build sets and stuff too?
I think so. He
Yeah.
built a lot of weird stuff. And then... But I just imagine there's all sorts of like really hunky, charming dudes in Hollywood that like do weird manual labor jobs, just hoping to get their shot. And
I mean, like Brad Pitt started off as one of those mascot dudes for like a chicken store, I think. He handed out flyers and wore a chicken suit. So who knows?
I almost kicked Brad Pitt in the face once.
How?
When I used to work at Sony, outside my office, you walk out the building and there's 4 steps down to go into the main courtyard, and then right past that there's a bench where you're supposed to sit. And I was walking out and I was talking to my coworker as I'm walking down the steps, and then out of the corner of my eye I see something in my peripheral vision, so I have to do kind of like a roundhouse kick sweeping move to avoid my forward step kicking it right in the face. And so I did, and planted right next to it and looked back down, and it's Brad Pitt just sitting there because it was at the Sony lot. And I guess he was filming like that zombie movie or something.
Oh, World War Z.
Yeah, and I just looked at him like, and he looked at me kind of just and went back to what he was like just texting, and
Yeah, he was like, dude,
I
I
just
saw this guy.
kept walking. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I would have been fired.
Well, that's good you didn't kick.
But there's a bench like 10 feet away. Guy's a moron, asking for trouble.
Gamebowski says, for the sake of immersion, you should switch the VO to Polish with English subs. Ooh, I like that idea. Maybe I'll do that at home. Imposter of no one but James has followed. I think this is all like remaster resistance, personally. I don't know. I don't really understand like I'm gonna make Twitch names just to mess with the Twitch chat, but I kind of enjoy the weirdness of it. So
Imposter of James.
Oh, LSM Judoka. Is that an Insomniac? Because they said I had beef Wellington at the Gordon Ramsay's London West Hollywood restaurant a few years ago, and man, it was good. You're going to destroy the Wellington, you donkey! You'll kill somebody! Yeah, Wellington is awesome. I love beef Wellington. It's a pain in the ass to make. I do make it myself, though.
Very nice.
If you don't know what beef Wellington is, it's like basically like the part of the cow that is filet mignon, made out of filet mignon, wrapped up in like mushroom. Some places it's a combination of mushroom and foie gras. I don't do the foie gras part. Like then wrapped in prosciutto or something and mustard, and then baked
This is a great contrast of Beef Wellington
And the
cutscene.
crow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrific.
That's what the game needs. We need some cooking mechanics.
Look at the cinematography.
Yeah,
oh,
it's
the
beautiful.
framing
Like,
is
even
so
just
good.
Even just the birds like flying off.
Every frame is a picture.
It is. Look at that.
Look at
Mm.
It's like some Roger Deakins stuff.
Yeah, this is original Xbox One. I don't know if the load times are better on Xbox One X. They might be. They might be better too off of SSD. Like, I'm not sure how that all is improved or not. We had people all asking for different Spider-Man release times. All we've said is 2018. Not saying anymore. Not responding to any of these comments. Super Smash said, have you all watched the story trailer for God of War? Game looks awesome. Yeah, we've talked about it a little bit. We're all very excited that in less than 3 months we can play God of War, and the trailer did look awesome. Portal Player 4 said, I thought Beef Wellington was steak with a baked pastry crust. That's a very basic way of putting it. And it's not just steak, it's supposed to be filet mignon. Anyway, never mind. I'm not going to go game over Greggy right now and do a cooking show. That would be fun, though.
Beef Wellington knowledge. You gonna take that?
It would be fun, actually. It would be fun to have a cooking
cook-off,
show.
Yeah.
I am the 2-year reigning chili cook-off competition champion. Yep.
All right, we are here. Felon is probably the most depressing area in The Witcher.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, what's going on with him?
He had those little shoes with the wheels on them, you know,
the
that the kids have.
He's got the move.
I like his, he's wearing, clogs or something, and I like that he's got, the shepherd's cane, too.
Yes. All right, let's go in.
Remaster Resistance. I guess I should have said Portrait or something.
I like how the new imposter account, we've had 3 imposter accounts thus far, and each one of them, and now the newest one is asking about the previous imposter account. That's my favorite part. Trying to make their joke bigger. See what you're doing.
What other comic book superhero would you guys like to work on?
Oh man, that's a loaded / difficult question. I mean, I love the Guardians of the Galaxy personally. Though the movie edition of them is sort of...
I'd want to make a whole game about that guy that's in a chair and he's just a giant face with arms and feet, and he's just he's a big square looking thing. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
It's like a yellow chair.
Nope.
And he doesn't have a torso and a neck and stuff. It's just one giant face. And
I feel like you're making this up.
no, he's some Marvel guy.
Okay.
Justin, can you
Here's
try
my
to
question.
find him? Yeah, MODOK. I think it's MODOK.
MODOK? Oh, there you go.
Wouldn't that be sweet?
Daredevil.
My question, point the question back to chat. What comic book superhero game would you guys like to play? Is an interesting
MODOK.
question.
MODOK Simulator 18.
Now I would. Here's my other question: does Dr. Aphra count from Star Wars? Because she's just a comic book character, but she now has her own comic book series.
I don't know who that is.
She's awesome. She's this archaeologist who has these 2. She has the dark version of art. Imagine if R2D2 and C3PO were sadistic torture, weapon robots, and they just liked killing things and torturing things and blowing everything up. I don't know.
I have Beast Blood wants Aunt May gameplay in Spider-Man. Oh, we're gonna have one where there's the pickle jar and her arthritis, and she's and she can't do it, and you have to use analog sticks.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I like Corey's. I like dodging questions like that more, or Corey just making ridiculous joke answers up every time. A lot of Iron Man, a little Ant-Man, a little Watchmen, some Daredevil.
Nice.
Did you like that? Little
Yes.
Ant-Man? No, thank you for picking up on it.
I appreciate it.
Twitchy Assassin and Blind Assassin 57, thanks for the follow.
Nice work.
Yeah.
It's like you're a pro at this game. You played 200 hours.
It's almost like I spent a lot of my life on this.
I like that guy's face. There's something weird about it, but it just feels really real.
He looks like that comedian that was in the Three Stooges remake.
See, that's what I was thinking. I was there's some comedian he looks like.
He's the guy that was really popular on Vine when that was a thing.
Alright, there you go.
You guys choose old Aunt May instead of hot Aunt May.
Well, because...
What about hot and old Aunt May,
Yeah.
Despite the thing that whole, how old is Marissa Tomei?
Probably 55, I would say.
Wait, okay,
Google
what's your
it.
guess? No, I want the guess. No one in the chat.
I'm saying 55.
No
off
one in
top
the
of my head.
chat, look it up. Guess how old Marissa Tomei is.
45.
I would guess 52 is my guess.
Anything else you can tell me about it?
And chat, put your guess in. I'm curious.
They probably don't even know who Marissa Tomei is. She's in My Cousin Vinny. It's amazing. Academy Award-winning film.
Baron's men don't
45 to 50.
So 55, IB Sliss is 48, 45 to 50, 40, 41,
41.
53, 42, 53, 54,
40. That's some young
54.
guesses, man.
Anyone guessing
Wow,
it's
that's a lot of
53 and
guesses.
damn hot. So yeah, it's just Josh. Yeah. So I do think anyone that actually guessed it right cheated. That's just my guess. What do you guess, Justin?
No, I guess they cheated. I agree with you.
What's your guess?
He knows.
Oh, you know.
I
Yeah.
know it.
I bet James is closer than me. I think I went a little too high.
I was relatively confident.
Is this
in my
Price is
guess.
Right rules?
Yeah, you can't go.
All right,
over, so
then you
you're-
probably won.
No, it doesn't matter. I'm closer either way.
Well, what is it? What's the answer? Everyone guessed now.
Billy Parmenter taking $1. Come on, you can't do that when everyone else has it. You have to go $1 over a guess.
What's the right answer?
It's 53. She's 53.
Okay.
So
Well, I was close.
if you
53.
like, considering that in our game he's been Spider-Man for 8 years, if you extrapolate Marissa Tomei out to 61, she probably will still look the same way because she just doesn't age. It's unreal. I don't get it.
No.
That guy's like, it's hammer time.
Oh, now I'm on a horse. No, Roach.
Sony.
There we go. Sorry, Roach. Sorry about that.
What a
So-
terrible way to
Alright,
die.
Just the barbecue time. Hey. No.
So hopefully, as we're kind of wrapping up, hopefully you kind of enjoyed a quick look at Witcher. I don't know if it's like necessarily the best streaming game of all time, just because there's a lot of long story stuff.
Yeah.
But
cutscenes.
But I do think the things we show that's really cool about it is just the amount of story and cinematography
Mhm.
and effort into all their dialogue. And if it's a game you haven't played yet, which myself included in that, but something I've started to fix. Actually, can you turn back to that? What is the X? It's
Oh.
funny, that X over the thing.
I think it's scissors. No.
Oh,
It's just
that
the
X to me. Oh, okay. From a distance, it looked exactly like the X on The Price is Right on the Tic-Tac-Toe game.
The Price
Like,
is
that's-
Right. Yeah.
I just saw that X and I was like, that kind of looks like The Price is Right X. But apparently we're lagging sometimes with the frame rate. But we'll have to
Alright,
look at that.
well.
We'll see what's going on with our internet traffic today. But anyway, my point being that like it's a game if you like long, in-depth open world RPGs, something
Look
like
at Sky.
Horizon even, and you like story. I think a lot of you guys that follow Insomniac love story-based games. It's one you should have played if you haven't already, and I know it has Pro patch, and there's an Xbox One X patch, and it's on PC, and it's relatively inexpensive now to play the game too.
It was a year ago. I got it for $20 on the
Yeah,
holiday
like,
sale.
You should be able to find it relatively cheap. So check it out if you haven't. It can soak up a ton of your gaming time. I've enjoyed the little bit I've played and enjoyed watching it being played today. And what do we have coming up tomorrow? We've got 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Tim's
North
doing some
Carolina is doing
Unspoken
the,
stuff.
Yeah, it's the State of the Unspoken. So if you're into VR, we'll be showing off the Unspoken. I don't even know what they're doing exactly, to be
It'll
honest.
be the North Carolina one,
Yeah.
dueling banjos.
Yep, and then Friday we're gonna be here. We'll be playing the brand new Dragon Ball Fighter Z,
Ooh.
which is gonna
Exciting.
be that's
Also known
gonna
as Fighters.
Fighters with a Z.
We're going to spend the whole stream just charging up, and then you're going to have to watch later for the fight to actually happen.
Yeah, and then Monday we'll be back here in Burbank at 2 p.m. We're gonna be Pacific. We'll be playing Monster Hunter World. It's Monster Hunter World, right?
Monster Hunter World. Witcher is technically a Monster Hunter, also.
Yeah, just I guess we're going back into that realm. So I know anyone who's excited about Monster Hunter, we'll check that out next week as well. And then who knows what else is going to happen next week. And let's see, anything else? Someone said Witcher is very much like the closest game experience you'll ever get to Game of Thrones.
I like it better than Game of Thrones.
Are those feral dogs?
They are.
Or rabid dogs, okay. I feel better about killing rabid dogs.
Cujos.
Not
Have to
to,
put
not to
down.
be confused with rap. Nope.
Jake
Can you light 'em on
13
fire?
said we eventually play
Or stun 'em
Spider-Man.
or
We
something?
will play Spider-Man
There
PS4
you go.
eventually when we have something that
Nice.
we're actually showing. But who knows when that'll
Sit.
be. Billy Parmenter said, what about the Game of Thrones Telltale game? Well, okay, maybe that, but I don't know. One's a Game of Thrones story, and this is the Game of Thrones. I don't know. I haven't played that. Yeah. Any other final thoughts on Witcher?
Oh, you
video
used the
games
Force
in
on him.
general?
These
Play
are not
it.
the droids you're looking for.
Make your own story. Be your own Witcher.
Be your own Witcher.
Yeah.
Corey.
What's happening? Huh?
Final thoughts on The Witcher.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah,
you
it's
should
awesome.
take in the storytelling craftsmanship that it has.
It was funny. You were playing. Corey last year was playing it until I gave him a copy of Skyrim, and then he played Skyrim for like 100-something hours and got distracted from it.
Yeah, and I felt terrible because I was like, I should have been spending all that time on Witcher. Skyrim's awesome, but I feel bad that I stopped playing Witcher to play Skyrim.
Yeah, I do solemnly swear I will play more of The Witcher 3 going forward. I just have.
Tell me what happened.
I haven't gotten to it, but I have started now, and it looks beautiful, and it's great. So thank you all for watching, for tuning in. We'll be back here in Burbank on Friday at 2 p.m. North Carolina guys will be streaming tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific.
11.
So we hope to see a lot of you guys then. Thanks for all your follows. Caesar Proxen, thank you for the follow. Saw that right here at the end. And we will catch you guys. North Carolina will see you tomorrow. We'll see you guys on Friday. So with all that, peace out. Thanks for watching. Catch you next.